This is the Blender Challenge 8 render review. The topic for the challenge was to create some kind of a corridor. And I want to talk to you now about the submissions that I've got. First of all, note that all of this stuff is being posted to the zerobio Discord server. And typically, as people go on and work on their projects, they post their stuff in the whip category here. So for challenge 8, you can see that there's a channel called challenge 8 whips. So as you're working on it and coming up with stuff, you can post an image, discuss various techniques that you're using, and when you're finally finished, this is when people put their stuff into the challenge 8 render section right here. All right, now I also have another challenge going on right now, so you can see that there's a channel for the challenge 9 whips, and we'll talk about that challenge in a little bit. Okay, sometimes I do announcements as well. I also will mention that up here there's a section called references. So as I'm modeling something, if I find a great reference, or if it's something that I've created, or if it's an image that I've got myself, I'll post it there. I generally don't put links there. I'll put links in my own videos to find stuff. But if it's a picture that I've made, then I'll put it there. I don't know how long that stuff will last, and as I go through the challenges, I start to delete stuff, so it won't be there forever, but that's what we got. Okay, so that's where to post your stuff, and on with the images. So like I say, the concept was corridor, and it was wide open for whatever you think of when you think of corridor. So here we have an outdoor scene, and this was the person's concept for corridor. And this is a really cool outdoor scene with a lot of great models and textures. I mean, it looks like golden hour out in the mountain region with a nice stream, and everybody's wondering, what lies past there. It looks to me like there's some kind of a drop off, but that's what it looks like to me, like almost like a waterfall. But who knows what's out there? But this is the corridor going down through there. A lot of interesting, beautiful textures in this image. Here we have another nature-related scene. This is a corridor, a cave of sorts with lots of moss, and I guess it would be lichens and stuff. And down here we have these, what sort of look like stalagmites and stalactites. I don't think I want to wander through there. These sharp protruding structures, and down into the mushrooms at the very end. So very cool. All right, some industrial scene with a lot of atmosphere. We've got some volumetrics going on. All of these cables snaking around. I really like these cables. I find them really help to make the scene. I like this box up here. I just do. I think it fits with the decal and stuff. And in particular, I like the stairs. We're going up the stairs here, and we've got a walkway here, and we've got a walkway there. I find it just leads me along. But there's details really everywhere you look in this, and some great texturing going on here. New life. So this is a corridor here with a lot of details. Stuff like this, you wonder where to look first, and wherever you look, there are interesting details, all the way down to very tiny stuff, and paneling all over the floors and on the walls. Just a lot of really nice work here. I've got another one here. And, as you probably know, Alien Isolation my favorite game. There's lots of good ones, of course, but this always reminds me of that, or this does remind me of that. But I mean, here, you know, from the planet outside here with some mist, you know, and then inside the ship here, another view of this very long sci-fi corridor. So some beautiful work being done here. And I had a number of these sort of cutaway views, and I've chosen a couple of my favorite color schemes for this. But again, there's a lot of detail going into these with some lighting effects, you know, here in the stairs and in here. And of course we got the green down here, and just really interesting designs and pipe work, you know, and a really cool sci-fi door, making this you know, a cross section of a really cool corridor. And so I've chosen another color because a number of them were submitted to me, and you can see it's all done nicely to scale with the person inside there to give a sense of the size of this thing. Beautiful. All right, so again, corridor could mean anything, and so here we have this frightening scene in what looks like a hotel lobby, and there was some talk about The Shining. If you know that movie, I believe it was the Jack Nicklaus movie. We got some blood stains on the wall and an axe and a bit of a destroyed door over here. And various items in the hall. I really like the carpet in this one. I think the carpet just is perfect for this scene. And just stuff, you know, sparsely placed in this hallway. Oh jeez, I don't even know if I noticed this doorway partially open. I'm wondering what's in there. And of course you got the twins at the end, and just perfect lights for a scene like this. Very nice. And yeah, and even a little bit of a hall, like what looks like maybe a hallway down there. I don't know this particular scene. I've seen the Shining many times years ago, and I don't know if there was a remake of it either, because I don't remember them. Wow. All right. Corridor. I will date myself by saying this reminds me, of course, of 2001: A Space Odyssey. But I know that there are many circular style spaceships. I assume that's what this is. But I mean, this is just beautifully laid out. People are using various photographic, you know, theories and guides, you know, to place their objects. But I mean, the texture work here is beautiful, and I love this metal material here, and this on the door. We've got the decals and text here, you know, a little fire extinguisher in there with these robots, to the grate, metal grate on the floor with these pipes going around. So, you know, really interesting perspective. You know, when I start these challenges and I say, okay, corridor, wait till you see what I had in mind. It's completely different than these, and that's what I like about this. What people will come up with, because it's open ended. Yeah, well, you know, this is what I wish I did when I did my subway scene. You know, just a long, winding corridor that is just beautifully textured, and all the proportions are so nice, from the rails here, the tracks down here, and some pipes, and then up onto the walkway. You know, this is a corridor. Beautiful. This is a hospital corridor. I look at the odd angle, you know, of the camera. Just you know, adding to the intensity of the scene. We got the blood splatter on the wall, right? Awesome, medical equipment here. Beautiful chairs, completely convincing textures. Yeah, crooked pictures on the wall. You've got the cracked plaster, the blood stains, the hospital lights and ceiling panels. The 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 railing, the handrail, whatever you call that piece there. Again, an open door with like what looks like blood splatters here. This does not look good. I mean, it looks good, but it doesn't look good, if you know what I mean. And you got this guy at the end waiting for you. So another really cool corridor. And of course, we're going to have something like this. There was a lot of people, I think, went for these circular corridors here. This looks like you're going to be driving your sci-fi motorcycle through this. Maybe you recognize this even from something. I don't know. I am not with what's going on in the world of gaming and movies and stuff these days, but very cool. Yeah. Now we got these ones. Oh, you know what I didn't notice before? I didn't actually notice him back there. So he's back, and that may be the trademark of this person. Some people submitted more than one because they couldn't get enough of the challenge once they got going. But here we have what looks like an underground tunnel. I love these lights here. I think they just look so cool. All right. And then we've got, the dented, the deformed waste bins, the shovel, obviously the rubble piles. We've got like the old, like a wooden or metal wheelbarrow, and then just a great sense of depth as we move on down through here. But the modeling of the arch and the interesting brickwork, So yeah, a lot of work goes into these. I appreciate it. And here's another one, and I believe it was by the same person. I would have been convinced it was had that guy shown up back there. Yeah, just we've got the underground, the train or subway. I'm not sure, but look at these pipes with rust and damage. And all the stuff on the ground, of course, the tracks leading down through here, and we've got these pieces of mechanical, whatever they are, and the lights. So really nice perspective and a great final render for this corridor. This is a nice, interesting, busy scene here with a lot of stuff being modeled and put into this and lit. Again, with those cool sort of sci-fi lights. More barrels with rust and grime. Decals on here. A lot of stuff going on the walls with this plaster and stuff. Look at these stairs. Does that look like concrete coming down? Very bit of an odd angle too. I feel like I would fall down those stairs and fall into this dangerous environment. Look, a little shelf-like area here with pieces of wood there. We got some construction going on down here. We don't know what's down there. And bags of stuff. So there's a lot of techniques being used here, and of course the track that goes down through here under there carrying these logs. So that's beautiful work there as well for the corridor. And this is what I actually did, and what started me off with this concept of corridor. I don't know how much it looks like a corridor, but I had pictured an old train station somewhere out in the countryside, which had sort of a long room, and that was the corridor in my mind. And so I started out with that and created the room and some furniture that would fit in there. And then it went from there with the various windows and a display case. And then I created some, boxes in the old stove. I'll show you a couple of other views of this as well. And I just wanted to feature the window and the glass. I use Substance Painter for most of the texturing here, but for the glass I used a Blender add-on called Smudger Pro. It's available on the Blender market, and I think it costs around $30. But it can, right in Blender, it integrates on the right side with your materials. And you just choose a material, activate Smudger Pro, and then you can put scratches and smudges and stains. And it's very easy to use and gives really nice results. And they don't have to export an FBX into Substance Painter, work on it there. You work sort of right in Blender, and I like that about it. So there's another view of what I did. And here's the last one I'll show you, because I tend to make the videos as I do the challenge, just to show you my thought process and my modeling process. And so you might note that I had modeled the saw and the axe and the wagon wheel and the stove. So basically I did it all. I don't do all of my texturing on camera because it takes a long time. And I see here I've got some issues that I'm not crazy about. I don't like the lighting for some of this, but I was having some trouble. I mean, I have glass, I got HDR out there, I had some suns and various lights, and I had light bouncing off everywhere, and I couldn't get it under control, and so I end up getting these really sort of blown out areas. I tried a lot of different things, and after how many videos did it take for me to get to the point, I mean, a video or two for modeling the bench, a video for modeling the saw, a video for modeling. So, I don't know how many videos. It was a lot of videos, and by the time I was working on textures and lighting and getting towards the final render, it would take a long time. So, that's my entry. The new challenge is up and running right now. It's Blender Challenge 9. The theme is Lost Treasure, and that could mean anything that is lost treasure. All right. The deadline for that currently is Sunday, March the 14th. It's not that far away. There is a small chance that I'm going to have to extend that a bit for some of us who are working, going to school, have kids, whatever the deal is. If I do, I would extend it just 1 week to Sunday, March, I guess it would be the 21st. We'll double check on that. So I'll post updates as we go along to see if we need a little bit more time for that. And of course, you can post your whips and your final renders on the zerobio Discord, and then I will do a render review for what everybody thinks lost treasure means to them. I want you to keep in mind that we're not just limiting ourselves to Blender, as you can see. The idea is to use Blender for a good portion of the project, generally for the modeling, all right? And you're welcome to do materials and textures solely in Blender, but people are using various add-ons to Blender. Some are paid and some are free, and that, of course, not everybody can afford add-ons or want to use them, the paid ones. But people are using Quixel Mixer, they're using Megascans, they're using Substance Painter, Substance Designer, 3D Coat. There's a lot of different things that you can integrate into your pipeline of creation, and all of that is fine. I mean, there wouldn't even be a problem with using Blender and for some reason using Maya or Max as well. ZBrush or ZBrush. I don't know if you guys are Canadian or where you are, what you say. So whatever you want to use, as long as there's a nice chunk of it done in Blender. So we can call it the Blender Challenge, otherwise it'd be the Max Challenge. All right, so hope you'll get involved with that. With other ones, please drop by the channel regularly if you can. I do try to post relatively regularly, and we're stuck right now in these challenges, so I'm not doing modeling teapots and tires and stuff like that, and lanterns and other things that you might want to see. I'm basically modeling for the challenge because it takes a lot of work and a lot of time. But yeah, come on by and subscribe to the channel and like the videos and help the channel grow and become a part of it. And then you can head over to Blender Guru for the real stuff after this. But spend some time here. All right, take care.